What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, I do have to go ahead and apologize just very quickly. This is some pretty old footage here, so the Val and everything in this gameplay is before they went ahead and nerfed it. So if things don't look the same as current date gameplay, trust me, it's for an exact reason. I just simply don't touch Battlefield 2042, nor do I think I'm going to be touching it anytime in the near future. But regardless, I wanted to get this gameplay for the background because I think it'll help prove a little bit of a point later on in this commentary. And the commentary is about the future content coming in to Battlefield 2042 Season 2. On Twitter, Temporal went ahead and actually data mined the map that's going to be released within Season 2. And this is the message he had to say over on Twitter. Season 2 map in Battlefield 2042. Stranded, aka Drained. The map involves a clash over Gatun Lake, I think it's Gatun Lake, which is an artificial lake in Panama, Middle America. No official images available. Speculation, the locks, the dam, or a stranded ship could be points of interest. So basically, he went ahead and found some images that could kind of match up what he found in the files of the game, and he's been doing a pretty darn good job when it comes to data mining all the information about stuff that's coming out in this title. So pretty much everything he says, I would say, is pretty reliable, and it might be changed slightly near the future. You never know. He's data mining things behind the scenes, but I mean, just looking at the images here, I'm not gonna lie, this could be a pretty cool concept of a map. As you can see right here, Temporal also posted this on his Twitter as well. Almost looks like the map is going to be consisting of things like loading docks and, like you see right there, a dam. Pretty interesting points of interest, and honestly, we've seen multiple of these things done in the past, whether it's in Battlefield 2042 or games like Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 3. We've seen similar aspects, so we know this concept plays well, but the real question is, will DICE be able to develop something actually solid around this concept like they did in the past, or are they going to flop and make it an absolute massive, horrible disaster like they did with the rest of the Battlefield 2042 content? I mean, they did say in the past that they have learned their lesson and that the majority of the maps in Battlefield 2042 need to be either shrunk down or way more cover needs to be added across the battlefield to make it more engaging for people trying to move from spot to spot, flag to flag, wherever they're trying to navigate throughout. It just makes the experience a little bit more fluent. So they know the basics to why these Battlefield maps are not turning out good within 2042, which gives me a little hope for the future of Season 2, and also seeing what they produced in Season 1. Keep in mind, they had to completely overhaul this map from scratch. That's why Season 1 was completely pushed back, so they could overhaul this map right here. And I gotta say, it is one of my favorite Battlefield maps in a very long time. And that's really hard to say coming from Battlefield 2042, one of my most hated Battlefield games, but truly, it is a blast of an experience. It has something for everybody, whether you want to use a sniper or a DMR, LMG, stick to outdoor engagements, be up on the hillside and be in the forest, or you could be in the actual laboratory with all the up-close engagements. Whatever your playstyle is, there's something for you within this map, and that's what every single map across the board should be like. So seeing what they produced with Season 1, after knowing that all the original maps failed, gives me a little bit more hope. And also the new remade version of Kaleidoscope also gives me hope that they understand, what they did wrong in the past. But even if they do all of that stuff, I don't think this is going to live up to everybody's expectations. I mean, I could totally see these ships being completely knocked over or sinking, crashing partially onto land, or the dam being absolutely exploded, destroyed, and water just flooding into the whole overall map, changing the overall scenery. Things that we have seen in the past, a very obvious evolution that Battlefield has always had, but for some strange reason, it's all missing in Battlefield 2042. I think this map is going to be tons of missed potential. What us Battlefield fans want, we just simply can't get out of this game. And no matter how long this game is going to be, out, or how long they're going to keep working on it, those massive factors that draw us back to games to like Battlefield 4, which keeps those games still alive current date. I mean, Battlefield 4 never dies. I mean, it stays alive nonstop. There's reasons for that. There's reasons for these games staying alive and getting a higher player count than Battlefield 2042. It just doesn't happen because, that's just how it's going this year. No, it's because the newer version of the game does not keep up to the standards of the previous versions. So yes, even though they're going to go ahead and make sure the maps are a bit smaller and have more cover added to the scenery and everything of that sort, it still stresses me out because I know it's not going to be what we want. It might be fun to play on, but will Battlefield 2042 magically change into something that the core audience wants to see? No, I don't think anything is going to be coming out of this. And ladies and gentlemen, please, we have to be honest here. We said, as a community, if only one map releases with Battlefield 2042 Season 2, things are not going to look good. We already said it with Season 1, and then everybody said, oh, this map is tons of fun. We forgive you, DICE. Fix your problems within Season 2. We'll be patient. But it has to be more than what you gave us. We understood you're a little behind. Now, guess what? We're caught up. We're caught up, DICE. It's almost a year later. You have had plenty of time to go ahead and do what you needed to do. So to be completely honest, there's no more excuses for DICE to make. The lack of content can't be backed up by absolutely anything. They still haven't added in the portal weapons into All-Out Warfare as they promised. They know the game is lacking content. They know the game is lacking weapons. They know it's as easy as copying and pasting a set of weapons that are already in the game over into All-Out Warfare, and they refuse to do so. I don't know what's holding them back. I don't know if there's any problems. But something that seems so simple just isn't getting done. And trust me, I am extremely happy and thankful that DICE decided to put the portal maps into All-Out Warfare, into the Exodus playlist. It's fantastic to be able to have a normal rotation, more content, and also good maps within the original rotation with Battlefield 2042 fundamentals. I appreciate that a ton. But adding in old maps does not make up for the lack of new ones. Battlefield 2042 should be a brand new banger in the franchise. We shouldn't have to rely off of nostalgia like Call of Duty is doing now in order to get the fans pumped, excited, and ready to play your game. We should be excited about the new content, the new maps, the new guns, the new everything. That's what we should be pumped for to give a shot. And they're not giving us enough. And the thing that sucks the most is that within Season 2, they're using the, remakes of the OG Battlefield 2042 maps as an excuse for adding in content. It's like we can't make enough new maps because we're too busy remodeling the older maps that didn't turn out good. Well, I'm going to be honest. I just don't think of it that way. I can't think of it that way because the old maps are mistakes. This isn't, helpful. This isn't adding in content into the game. No, they're fixing old mistakes still and making one new map into the game. Will it be great to have these remade versions of the other maps? Yeah, it will be great. Kaleidoscope plays a lot better than the original form. So I'm assuming the rest of the maps that they're remaking here are going to play way better than the original as well. But do I consider it new and fresh content? Do I consider it something waiting, almost a year after launch in order to get? No, these maps should have been like this since day one. This should never be an issue. Season 1 should have never been pushed back. Season 2 and Season 1 should have had more content within these games. But instead, they were completely cut down in order to fix the mistakes they made in the beginning of the game. And instead of owning up to those mistakes of absolutely crapping on the maps, they're trying to twist the story around by making it seem that they're adding in a ton of fresh content. They're remaking all these new maps into the game. They're bringing in more portal maps into the game. When in all reality, the only new thing that's coming into Battlefield 2042 is one map within Season 2 and one map within Season 1. As I said before, we as the community said, if not more than one map comes out in Season 2, there is going to be a massive problem. This is the least amount of content we have ever gotten within a Battlefield game. And the worst part about it is that the gameplay doesn't even make up for the lack of content, so there's no reason to come to the experience. I can't just ignore the gameplay and just get lost into the amount of content, and at the same time, I just can't get lost into the, amount of content because there is none in the first place, but even if there was, there's no gameplay aspects that are very attractive about the game to keep me coming back more and more. Don't get me wrong, I'm not mad about getting new content within Battlefield 2042, what we get is what we get. And I'm sure it's going to be just as good as Season 1 because I believe the developers have learned their lessons on how to design a map. I don't know why we have to, be at this point with a AAA development team. I know it's new people on board, but my goodness, a AAA team, this should never be the worst case scenario of having the worst maps in a Battlefield franchise. But it is what it is. The fact that they learn from their mistakes and they're making better games is a positive, but there's not enough content to keep us coming in. I'll definitely come to Season 2 and try out the map, but I don't know if it's going to be worth actually staying. But ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor, go down in the comment section, leave your opinions down below on how you feel about the content coming within Season 2. Do you think it's enough? Do you think, like me, it's just not enough content, especially with the lack of portal weapons coming to All-Out Warfare, and just the lack of, additional portal maps in general, and then no new maps in the game, and of course it takes almost a year to remake all the other OG, like, why? I don't think this is a good positive. But if you guys do, leave it down in the comments. Like I said, I'm always open-minded to everybody's opinion, and I'm always glad to see what you guys have to say. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. Bums, I hate it. Leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new and enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, if you want to chat with me, do so. I have a Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also, if you want to catch me live streams of video games, do over on Twitch. Link that's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.